On this episode of the Virtual Press Box, I am joined by Nick Berry, and this week we introduce a brand new sports video game. We talk NHL schedule release for a little bit, and then we talk the sad, sad world of Major League Baseball. It's only sad because the New York Mets are one of the worst teams in the league. Nick still has hope, but that's rather here nor there. And then our Gimme 5 are 5 of the worst MLB selected All-Stars. But before all of that, let's hear from Nick with W Energy.
That's right. The Virtual Press Box has partnered with W Energy and their patented jitter-free formula that makes them the next generation of energy drink. So head on over to wenergy.com, and when you get to checkout, after you've picked one of their amazing flavors, make sure to use our coupon VPB2023. That's VPB2023, and get yourself 10% off on us. Now, let's get this show started.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Press Box. I'm your host, Ricky Ramos, and I am joined by my partner in crime, Nick Berry. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, man, because Showtime has returned to the Windy City. Patrick Kane has come home. Now, if we can just get Jonathan Toews, that would be even better. But hey, Kane has come home, and past meets future with Connor Bedard coming back at some point, and Frondell and some other guys. So very happy right now. It's optimism is super high in the city of Chicago as far as sports are going. We'll see what happens with the Bulls, but hey, that's not going to ruin the Blackhawks.
Caleb Wilson. You haven't two Calebs are taking over Chicago right now. Caleb Wilson, he's looking really, really, really good right now.
Yeah, NBA Summer League so far, he seems like the real deal. So optimistic again as far as Chicago sports. And then, hey, the Cubs, they are what they are. They're not terrible, but they're not the world beaters that they were for a stretch at the beginning of the season. So they're kind of second place in the wild card, or I think they're wild card leaders still right now for National League. So not bad. Definitely still in the hunt. But what about you, man? How have things been?
So the Mets take the series against the Phillies. We in the 3 games before Game 3 of the Mets and Brewers series tied 1-1. We give Juan Soto a day off. It's fine. He's been nursing a calf injury all year long, essentially. Like, he just got taken out of last night's game, and they're fearing another injury list stint. If that's the case, I don't want to see him play the rest of the year. I don't want him hurt. So Luis Robert Jr. just came back. He wasn't in the outfield. Juan Soto was off. This was 2 nights ago. 2 days ago, actually. It was a day game. So what do we do for right field? We put inexperienced, we are forcing utility player Brett Baty in right field, who originally was a third baseman when he came up from the minors. We have forced him to play second base and first base. Are they at the utmost ability? No, not at all. And then we put him in right field. And I talked about this yesterday with Drake, whenever me and him recorded, but I also want to mention it with you. The Brewers beat us because of that inning. The Mets would have ended up winning by 2 runs because they lost 4-3. No, the Mets would have won by 3 runs if nothing would have happened this inning. Because Christian Scott, he's a pitcher in the majors that he averages the most pitches thrown per inning. Like, he's like the top 5 in that. And there was runners on first and second, and a pop fly comes to deep right field, and Brett Baty loses it with a half-open roof, drops, 2-run score, and then runner on second now, and then the very next batter, Christian Yelich, first pitch, knocks it into left center, RBI single. Yeah, And what's even worse about that, the Brett Beatty misplay, not an error.
How's it not an error?
Because it didn't fall out of his glove.
Wow.
It didn't fall out of his glove. He just mistimed it. He just couldn't find it, and it just like dropped right in front of him on the warning track. So yeah, the Mets. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Mets would have won 3-1. So yeah, we would have took the series from the Brewers, but you know.
Look at the bright side. At least you're not Kyle Shanahan or Tony Romo this morning. So
yeah. Also on the bright side.
Also
on the bright side, we had the NHL schedule release.
Yes, we did. I was going to say, I know we have a big show planned with segment 1 being our new video game, segment 2 being kind of a wrap up of Major League Baseball's first half of the season. But there are 2 pretty big stories that we need to get to before we get to the socials. One is the NHL schedule release. Obviously, that's a huge deal in our world, being 2 big hockey fans. I know you've already circled a few dates here in Nashville.
I have. I have.
In addition to opening day, which I know is also obviously a very, very big night either way.
Oh, dude, I'm going to do everything I can to be at opening night against the Minnesota Wild. There's a day in December, which I'll go, but, I don't got to worry. And then there's a day late in the season. I think it's in April, whatever. That's, nothing you also have to worry about.
Get to see a little Showtime in Music City. So.
Yeah. But hey, we got Vange by Vange. That's what they called it. That was awesome. That a lot of people around hockey are saying the Preds have one of the better schedule release videos this year.
It was very good. And for people who don't know, the biggest trend, or one of the biggest trends in sports here over the last few years, is when teams release their schedules, they have their social media teams put together a video. That's usually fun, or it's a kind of an honor of the city that there are. So there's a couple different approaches you can go to how to make the video. But it's, kind of all, I think the one that really got it all started was the Titans one. I mean, teams have been doing it, but the Titans is the one that got notoriety because of.
They asked a tourist, hey, what's this, the Nashville.
They went to Broadway, which if people don't know, Broadway is the heart of downtown Nashville for tourism. And they just walked around.
Call it Nash Vegas with how big it's getting.
But they just walked around and showed people pictures of the mascot or the logo of the team the Titans were playing and asked them to name the team. So it was hilarious.
Nobody got it right. Nobody got it right.
And it's kind of like, man, across all sports doing these videos.
The Chargers always have a good one.
Yeah, the Predators one was very good.
It was
in
awesome.
The past, like the Bears did one that was themed around Ferris Bueller's Day Off because it's in Chicago, obviously.
Yeah,
or around. What was the Blackhawks? The Blackhawks one this year was a little different because it was naming their opponents after famous Chicago landmarks.
Yes, the Winnipeg Jets had a good one.
Okay, well, I didn't see.
I sent you that one. It was the Letterkenny.
Oh, that was the Letterkenny one. Yes.
Yeah.
That one was very good. If you love, I mean, the deadpan, just it was very good. If you like Letterkenny or Shoresy, it's definitely a good watch. My only highlight to me from the Blackhawks one was that when they compared the Red Wings, their comparison was to the poop fountain in Chicago, which I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to try to explain it on this on the show. Just Google it and you'll find it. But so yeah,
only a city like Chicago would have a fountain like that.
Well, hey, I mean, Chicago's a city for everybody. It's but it's the home of a pope, former president.
Is it for everybody?
Not that many cities can say that.
I can't wait to enjoy hockey. I can't wait to enjoy hockey. Oh. That's.
Yes. So schedule release, and we talked about. Opening day in any sport is one of the best days. I mean, it's optimism is at its all-time high. Nothing bad has happened yet. Hopefully, it's the season of possibilities is getting ready to start. So who do the Predators have week 1? Or not week 1,
puck drop. Game 1. I don't think we open at Nashville, so that's a good question. I have it saved somewhere. Oh my god! But so I think it's game 3.
Okay. So Yeah, the Blackhawks are the same way. Their first game is away. They're at Minnesota on the 19th, September 19th, opening night in Minnesota.
September 19th is preseason, Nick.
Well, I'm sorry. That's what I was talking about. They open the preseason. Yeah, there's a handful of preseason games.
Yeah.
They start in Minnesota. Regular season, let me see who they got. Of course.
Regular season, the Preds open up with 2 home games, October 1st, October 3rd.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you saw this, but the Florida Panthers, they don't have their home opener until October 10th.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonder why. I mean,
I don't know. But in October alone, the Preds have 9 home games compared to 5 road games.
Wow. Okay. Now, let me see.
Yeah.
I'm having internet issues.
And then November, it's basically they are only on the road.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the Hawks schedule pulled up. They have opening night.
I just know where we will.
Go on.
I know where we will be December 3rd. We will be in beautiful Bridgestone Arena. That is the first game that they play the Blackhawks.
By a sea of red? Is that what you're talking about?
No. You see the Predators averaged a sellout last year?
I did see that. But real quick, Blackhawks opening night is the 29th of September at Vegas. Then they go at Utah, at Buffalo. They're not home until October 6th against St. Louis. 4 of their first 5 games are on the road.
That's crazy.
Not ideal.
Yeah, the Preds have 14 games in the first month, and 9 of them are home.
Right now, Blackhawks tickets for Vegas, you can get a ticket at $179. The Utah game, $124. Buffalo, $136. St. Louis, a home game, you get $121 is the lowest ticket right now. Then they go to the Islanders. Lowest ticket, $39. Nobody wants to see the Islanders. That's great. What's even crazier, right now, Blackhawks at Florida on November 4th, $29.
That's not bad.
Florida's been one of the best teams in the league the last, 10
especially
years?
them pairing the Chuck brothers now.
Yeah, that's I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that changes because as people realize how good the Blackhawks really are going to be this year, the ticket prices will go up, so it'll be harder to get.
Well, I don't know about that because you have to play you can't. Hey, you know what? There's the cheapest game I'm seeing for the Preds right now on TickPick, or the Blackhawks on TickPick, is October 10th. Blackhawks versus Hurricanes, $67. And then October 15th, Blackhawks versus Jets, $50.
Nice.
And then March 28th, I'm sure March 28th is going to be the most expensive. The Blackhawks are playing the Global Series this year. I don't know if you saw that. They're going to Düsseldorf, Germany. Or Norwegia. NW, is that Norwegia? I don't fucking know. They're playing a home and home with the Kraken. No. I'm sorry. I saw SC. That is the Senators. Let's look at March 28th. I'm curious on March 28th.
March 28th,
Preds Blackhawks, March 26th, I'm sorry. Preds Blackhawks, Chicago, $55. That'll definitely go up with,
Well, especially when Preds start offloading people like Stamkos and
we're not offloading. Saros is here to stay, all right? Saros is here to stay. All right, Nick. Before we go off the handles, let's plug in the socials.
Well, actually, before we get to the socials, I want to get your opinion real quick. The other big story in the world of sports kind of just happened yesterday, day before yesterday.
No. I know
World
exactly.
National Basketball Association, the decision part 17, whatever it is now, has been made. And LeBron's taken his talents to the city of brotherly love. What do we think about that? Does it really matter? Is it?
Oh, it matters. But there's two things stopping me from giving you an honest answer. You might have to ask me off the record. So let me get this out of the way, then ask me off the record.
Okay.
On the record, I can't wait until the 76ers have like a bit of a losing skid, and then LeBron James tweets a cryptic tweet out, and then Jaylen Brown goes on Twitch. That'll be fun. And then, how many games is Joel Embiid going to actually play? You don't know.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I know you can look at their roster on paper, but some of these guys are paper thin, injury-wise.
Well, it's only one player like that. But go ahead, Nick. Use your reporter due diligence and ask me off the record.
The record, what are your feelings about LeBron to Philly?
I fucking am scared as a Celtics fan, I'll tell you that. You have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. I am not prepared for that. If I'm a Knicks fan, I'd be worried. If I am a Hawks fan, I'd be worried. A Pistons fan, I'd be worried. Cavs fan, I'd be worried. If this team plays how they should play, if LeBron James is going to play how LeBron James is going to play, if none of the off-court stuff matters with the media crew that travels with LeBron James, basically. If none of that matters, then this team will definitely be vying for a very good shot to raise the Larry O'Brien. That's off the record.
So let me just ask you, from a legacy standpoint, does yet another team hurt his legacy at all?
So the teams don't matter. Well, this one matters because you have one of the best guard duos in the league in VJ and Maxey. You just get Jaylen Brown coming off the best season of his career. And you have Joel Embiid, who, I have a sharp opinion of, can he play more? But he also is a former MVP. I don't think LeBron James has ever had a game in the regular season with a former MVP. Well, I'm sorry, Shaq. But that was,
But let me add some context to it. And of course, I'm coming from a position of being a Michael Jordan homer. I've never hidden that. I mean, obviously, I'll die on that mountain. He's the greatest of all time. There's not even you can put Kobe in a conversation, you can put LeBron in a conversation, but when we finish it, it's Michael Jordan. Then we start talking about everybody else. Something came out, it was a couple days ago, and it was talking about the top 10 superstars that have won a championship with the lowest scoring supporting cast.
Oh, I sent that to you.
Of the top 10, Jordan had 4 of the lowest supporting cast scoring in a championship year. 4 times.
And for those counting at home, he has 6.
Yeah.
So,
right.
80%?
Yeah. And again, not taking away anything from LeBron James as an athlete, as what he's done, as a humanitarian, the stuff he's done off the court, all this. I'm not taking anything away. Nobody's going to argue that he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But the fact, just kind of like Kevin Durant, like the fact that you have to continually chase championships somewhere else. You don't stay somewhere and allow them to build it through you and around you. You don't bring people to you. You go find people to join. That, to me, is just a bit of a tarnish every single time he does it. It adds a little bit more tarnish to that legacy.
Do you feel the same about Russell Westbrook?
Yes. Russell Westbrook, arguably one of the greatest scorers of all time, if not the greatest scorer of all time, as far as what he can do when he can do it. But he doesn't make teams better. He
Well,
doesn't
he
elevate the rest
did,
of the
and
team.
he's just in the back part of his career. Whatever.
Let's go like this. I would, with the way I'm talking about, we're just comparing legacies. We're not comparing stats or anything like that. Just legacies.
Yeah.
I would think Steph Curry has a better legacy right now.
Then
People
LeBron.
want to go to Golden State to play for him.
Yeah.
Not him having to go chase the people all across the country to go build teams around.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also did include Draymond Green crawling, Kevin Durant crying, saying we could do this together.
True. But again, the recruiting tip was Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, Steph Curry. Yeah, that team.
Right.
And then you end up having one of the best teams in the world of
people love to talk about, oh, they got Rodman to come play. Did you remember that 3 of the titles were without Dennis Rodman?
Yeah.
Go look at those Bulls rosters. Other than Scottie Pippen, arguably one of the top 50 players of all time, 60 players of all time. Go look at Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant on the first 3, solid player, all-star player. Steve Kerr, John Paxson, I guess would be
Kerr
the other.
Was Kerr the back
Kerr
half?
was the second 3. Paxson was Kerr in the first 3.
Yeah.
You have to have a white guy that can shoot. Those are their roles.
That was the rules in the 90s. You had to have a white guy that could shoot.
So what I'm saying is, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens in Philadelphia. Yes, now that he's in the East, he automatically elevates the 76ers. If they can stay healthy, it's always going to be a question. Obviously a team that was solid last year should be even better this year. So yes, Knicks should be worried. Pistons should be worried. Celtics should be worried. Hawks, yes. Bulls, let's just be decent before we worry about anybody else.
Pistons definitely should be worried. I don't know if you said Pistons.
I did. Yeah. I said Detroit. Yeah. So anybody in the East is on notice, obviously, until we see how this is going to play out in Philadelphia. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If they get the dog and pony show of LeBron James the Lakers have been getting the last 3 years, then look.
I mean, I didn't see the package, but Bronny's not part of the deal, right?
No, Bronny has a fully guaranteed contract with the Lakers.
It's funny that
the day that LeBron James and the Lakers announced that they're splitting ways, that's the same day the Lakers fully guaranteed Bronny's contract for the 2026-2027 season.
I don't know that he was worried about the money part of it, but yeah.
No, that means that, like, hey, you know what? You're kind of stuck.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Now we can. I just wanted to get your take on that. I know it's something that kind of fell into the sports landscape here recently, so we wanted to.
Yeah, that was something for sure.
All right. So now it's on to the socials, and then we'll come back. I ask everybody to don't turn the volume down. Don't turn the cast off. You're going to hear a song. Yes, it's going to
turn it up.
Grate on your nerves. Your skin's going to crawl, but you'll get through it. We too shall persevere. So here's the socials, and then we'll hop right back in.
For everybody that is looking to find the Virtual Pressbox on social media, it is Facebook at Virtual Pressbox, Instagram and TikTok at virtual.press.box. And to listen to the Virtual Pressbox, we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts under Virtual Pressbox.
All right, now that godforsaken song has ended, we can shift gears to, again, I got to say, man, I know I sound like a broken record here recently on the show, but another good idea by you.
I'm full of them.
People
don't like to recognize me, but I always have great ideas. I'm always cooking.
First 4 or 5 times it could have been an accident, but I guess now the 6th time it's a trend.
Yeah, we need the meme of Walter White looking there, and he says, "Someone cooked here." That someone is me. I am cooking. But no, like obviously, I could come up with 1,000,001 great ideas, and it also falls back on you saying, that could be a good one, and turning it down. Of course, you have ideas. We just shoot back and forth of each other. That's what makes this great. But this specific one is a hypothetical. But before we get that hypothetical,
I'll say it grew out of the season that we're in right now. The season of
Yes.
video game release.
Yes. A few weeks ago, we had the Caleb Williams cover drop. And then we had the Macklin Celebrini NHL 27 trailer drop.
Yep.
I'm super excited for NHL 27. And then a few days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, yesterday, one of the
2 days ago.
Victor Wembanyama gets dropped as cover athlete. And then they also do a WNBA cover, and then they do a Legends cover in 2K. The WNBA cover is Caitlin Clark, and the Legends cover is Derrick Rose.
Wait a minute, Caitlin Clark, the 11th best guard in the WNBA, got a cover?
Oh, yeah. 11th best guard. Yeah.
That's such a joke.
It is. How they're treating her is a fucking joke.
Well, again, if you ever want to know why the WNBA can't get out of its own way, it's stuff like this.
Yes.
You only have a handful of marketable stars, and arguably your most marketable star, you allow to get treated like garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but yes. So we have not to mention just a couple months ago, MLB The Show's cover was released. Of course, it's Aaron Judge. We're right into the throes of the game now. But NFL or video game covers are a big deal. We've talked extensively over the last couple months about sports video games in general. Obviously, they play a big part in our lives. You and I both grew up playing sports video games, continue to play sports video games. Actually, right before we jumped on, I was playing MLB The Show 26. Right before that, I was trying to play NHL, but the EA servers are down, of course. Because who wouldn't want to play video games on a Saturday? I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have
work
thought?
On the stuff, during the week when people are at work, I don't know, in school. But I digress. But because of that, though, we talked about these covers and how important the cover releases are and just how important video games are in general to us. And then from that, your idea came up.
Yes. What if
we'd love to play Undertaker and resurrect some dead things around here. So
yeah, this is a huge what if. What if we bring a game back? We were like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's see the sport. And you were immediately, well, NFL football needs it the most. I said, well, I can make the argument for MLB The Show, but Nick, you are very correct. Because whenever Madden comes out, people don't even look at the bright side of Madden if there is a new feature, a new this or new that. It's always, this didn't get fixed. They need this, they need this, they need this, they need this. And by the end of the season, it's just an endless list.
Well, the problem seems to be, and I mean, I know we say this all the time, but with Madden especially, it's just updated rosters, some smoother graphics, and maybe one or two gameplay enhancements. But it's almost like they say, okay, tell us what's wrong with last year's game. Here's all the stuff. They're like, okay, thank you. We're not going to look at any of that, but we're going to give you these couple things that nobody asked for. Like
on top of that, we'll bring back an old feature and just repolish it and rename it.
Yes. So yeah. Madden, I think, EA has kind of, they've taken the monopoly on the NFL license, and they know they have the monopoly on the NFL license, so they're not challenged to succeed anymore. Also, they know no matter how bad the game is, people are going to buy it because it's NFL football. People want to play NFL football. So they're going to buy it. And you're starting to see the same stuff kind of creep into NCAA because it's also made by EA.
Yes.
You're starting to get the same comments now that we've had 3 releases of the new versions of NCAA. You're starting to get the same, like, hey, it's just roster enhancements and a few gameplay tweaks. Now, they did add a lot of new stuff this year because of NIL and how that's going to work.
Yeah, that catch meter, though, I do not like the idea of that catching meter.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. The QB sneak meter, there's a lot of stuff that's just weird. Like, nobody asked for any of that stuff.
Yeah. They are definitely out of the honeymoon phase with college football.
Yeah. So and now Madden, to get back on track with us, we wanted to take the NFL license, pry it from the cold dead hands of EA Sports.
Yes.
And revamp it, give you a different gameplay.
EA can still have it. We're not going to be like, hey, this is ours only. We could let EA still make their money.
They can release it, but we took the development away from them. We want to be able to the ones who develop the game. We want to be able the ones to say, this is what it's going to be. This is what you're going to put. You put it together. You facilitate all that, but we're going to be I guess maybe writing it, programming it would be more.
Okay.
But either way, EA can be the distributor. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But as far as the brainstorming and as far as how the game's going to be set up, we just can't trust what they're doing right now at EA. So
No. So we decided to look through the annuals, and we shot back and forth with a few different ideas, and we decided to bring back Quarterback Club.
For the record, I wanted Mike Ditka's Power Football, but we settled on Quarterback Club.
Yeah. With that, we were going to update it with a newer alum coach, and we were going to be like, Bill Belichick, but
It'd be Bill Belichick. Honestly, the one that everybody I know name-wise that was on the tip of the tongue was Tecmo Bowl, but I don't know. Tecmo Bowl has its own kind of a niche thing. It's
Yes.
fondly remembered for what it was. We wanted to take a game that most people probably don't even remember, that may not have really played a lot. So Quarterback Club, to me, it takes a license that the NFL uses that used to be a very big deal. The competitions that they were televised, it was a very cool Pro Bowl games style setup. But the football game just kind of left a lot to be desired. So it definitely needed a rebuild.
Yeah, we almost went with the route of NFL Fever.
Yes.
I kid on that one. That one wasn't even on the drawing board. But we bring back Quarterback Club, NFL Quarterback Club 2027. So it's just NFL QB Club 27. And with this, we are bringing a whole lot of new features. And, me and Nick are someone that play franchise mode a lot. We're not the people that play the, create a player bullshit. We don't play the Madden Ultimate Team. We'll play exhibition games. If there were more mini games, we'd play them.
What we need to make very, very clear right off the bat, I think just to put people at ease, because we did say we're continuing with EA. There is no Ultimate Team.
No.
There are no microtransactions. There are no in-game purchases. Everything is either available at release or will be downloaded in patches throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
No additional purchases after you buy the game.
Nope. You spend your $60, $70, and that's all you got to spend. That's it. We're not going to be like, hey, here's this. You can have this 99 overall out of position Rob Gronkowski linebacker card. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Ultimate Team has its niche for a certain segment of the video game audience. Our game is not going to have that. So if that's what you're looking for, unfortunately, this probably won't work. But I guarantee you what we do have, especially how you set up the franchise mode, I think is going to be what really sells the game.
Yeah. Here's what we have for franchise mode. We're going to introduce the eras. Not like Taylor Swift Eras Tour, but like eras of what 2K does. How you could start it from the Bird era all the way through to now. But this one, we are going to have our own eras. It's going to start off in '83. The illustrious draft. With
arguably the greatest quarterback draft of all time. It's 1983.
2004 could argue.
That's what I said arguably.
Okay. Well,
but to your point, that's the one that kind of started the modern era of the National Football League.
And with that, we are not penny pinchers. If there are players that, they're like, hey, we need, like Charles Barkley says, he won't be in a 2K until they give more benefits to retired players. Well, guess what? We're going to fucking do that.
Yeah, we're playing with EA money and NFL money, so we got money to spend.
Yeah. We will have fully licensed rosters from 1983 till every year. Every single draft will have a licensed player. If they played on the NFL for one snap, they will be in our video game here. QB Club 27, all-inclusive. And speaking of all-inclusive, Nick.
I was going to say, so one of the things, obviously, create a player has to be part of it, just like create a coach if you want to put yourself in the game. So what we've done, and we've talked about this on the show before, when you create a player, when you create a coach, it's male or female. It's a video game. You should have fun. We want to include as many people, many fans as we can possibly get to love this game. So if you're an NFL fan and you're female and you want to make yourself, you want to go on there and you want to, throw passes to your favorite receiver or take snaps from your favorite offensive line, whatever you want to do, however you want to play it, you can create yourself as a female, as a coach, or as a player. The game is about having fun. It's about including all the fans that we can get. I don't know. I mean, NHL's already done this. Major League Baseball's already done this with their games. So why the NFL hasn't allowed this to happen before is beyond me. The NFL usually is very good at making money and doesn't get in its own way when it comes to that. So we are definitely taking that step. So when you're creating a player, when you're creating a coach, definitely male, female, doesn't matter. I think that, to me, that's a huge part of it.
Yes. With franchise mode comes with a new contract system. You will be able to format the contracts. Not just, here's a back load, here's a front load. You could back load, front load, you could edge it, you can middle it. You could actually customize it. Hey, you're getting paid this year, but a few years later you're going to get paid this. You could stage it however you want. And then if there's players that are retiring, you could be like, hey man, I want you to still play for me. What can I give you financially to come back? What promises can I make you for the team for you to come back?
Yeah.
And then with that, you have the ability to talk players into retirement. If it's your super grizzled veteran quarterback and you're like, I don't want to release you. I don't want your legacy tarnished. I want you to retire only with this team. But
it's called encouragement.
Yeah, I could see the end of the cliff, the end of the road's here. We're at the fork. Do we continue with this guy or, and struggle a little bit or, be like, hey, man.
And I think part of that, I love that. I love being able to talk contracts. I love being able to piece it together, specialize it to that player, talk him into and out of retirement. I love that. I also think bringing back guys going into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I think that's got to be something that, and Madden used to do that very well. I think we definitely want to have that. I love the fact that when he used to play, Vinny Testaverde would make it into the Hall of Fame because of his stats. I mean that's what you play for. But with that though, I also think another aspect of it, and this is something that as we've been talking about this, I was thinking. So let's say you go through the eras. Let's say you're Jim Kelly. You have Jim Kelly as the Buffalo Bills. And he's a free agent. You want to bring him onto your team. So you bring Jim Kelly onto your team, but you already have a guy that wears number 12. Well, now there's a negotiation between the players. And Jim Kelly may be able to convince him to switch numbers. He may be able to say, I'll give you X amount of money. And the guy may say, no, I don't want it. And then you as the owner have to decide, are you going to force it and ruin this guy's morale? Are you going to cut him? Or are you just going to tell Jim Kelly, sorry, you're going to have to wear number 14 now? So little things like that are real life behind the scenes things that affect contracts, that affect stuff like that. I think that kind of stuff would be a little bit more fun. I know we had talked about part of the contracts was also off the field issues. And when we say that, we don't mean, like half the Kansas City Chiefs roster getting arrested. We're talking about off the field issues like I want a better bonus. I want guaranteed playing time. I want
more guaranteed money.
Right. I want my bonus fully guaranteed. I want, or whatever it is. So that part of the contract negotiations, instead of just years total this, now the guy can get back and be like, well, no, I also want to make sure I'm a guaranteed starter week 1 barring injury. And you have to commit to that. Yes or no, that kind of thing.
You will. It's kind of like college football where you give commitments, right. You're a guaranteed this, and then, they're not a guaranteed this. Guess what? They're hitting that portal. Right. So
so morale can happen. So let's say your star quarterback gets hurt for 6 weeks, a la Drew Bledsoe. And in that spot, Tom Brady comes in, plays lights out, gets you going. You have to make the decision when Bledsoe comes back. Does Brady keep the hot hand going, or do you give Bledsoe his spot back? And that's going to affect both guys' morale.
Yes. Morale is something that's missed in a lot of sports games.
Well, part of you talked about the eras, but part of doing the eras is you're going to have moments like that.
Yes.
That really happened with Bledsoe and Brady. That's how we discovered who Tom Brady was.
Oh, 1,000%. That's how we figured out who the greatest quarterback of all time is.
So eras wise though, you talked about, obviously we kick it off 83. That's the draft that starts the franchise mode.
Yes. Well, you could choose to start it there. You could choose to start it in 83. And then you could scroll through the entire annuals of NFL history. Like, you know what? I want to start it in 93. You could start in the 93 season. You could start in the 90 season. All of this. You could start it in the mid-2000s. You could start at current day. And then, of course...
I don't think people understand this. You are getting a chance to play through Joe Montana's era, the 85 Bears era, the 2000 Ravens, the Packers dynasties of the 90s, the 49ers continued dominance in the 90s, the Cowboys. Cowboys fans, you would absolutely love this game because the last time the Cowboys were relevant, you can literally play. We're not leaving. We're playing 90 to 99. That's we're not starting before that. We're not playing after that. We're just going to keep resetting and going back to 90 and playing through 99.
Exactly.
Or if you're, somebody who's a little bit younger of age and you don't want to mess with all that and you want to go straight to current day, you can do that too. We have them. It's all the way up to the modern day. So if you want to go Iceman and, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, you can do that. If you want to go Tom Brady and the Buccaneers versus Tom Brady and the Patriots, you can do that. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, before he had 17 kids, you could do all of those different things. Michael Vick. I don't think people understand how just ridiculous Michael Vick is in video game form.
Yeah.
It's just things like that. Mike Allstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend. Just little things that you get to see, the greatest show on turf. Because not only that, but how many great teams and players never got to be part of modern day video games because they just didn't exist at the time.
Or properly respected in video games.
Right.
Like people like nowadays, people are like, oh, this player's good, this player's good. Well, there's more players you could, talk about.
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino. You get to play as Dan Marino. And if you're another team, you can be like, hey, you know what? Let's get Dan Marino and, let's change his career. Like, you're going to have that fully capable thing that you could do there.
Think about this. What if you're the Minnesota Vikings and you don't do that ridiculous trade with the Cowboys to get Herschel Walker?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Two different franchises go in two different completely directions.
Yes, literally.
Or
there would be no Cowboys in the 90s.
Yeah, we talked about Ditka. What if you're the Saints and you don't do that ridiculous trade with Miami?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
For Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Or if you're the Bears and you don't get cheap and you don't break up the 85 Bears and let McMahon go, let all these different players start to piece off because you didn't want to pay them contracts.
Exactly.
Megatron in Detroit. Stafford in Detroit. Barry Sanders in Detroit. Shit.
Yep. So with all that being said, there's going to be customizable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We will have fully customizable stadiums, how EA used to have.
Yes.
But guess what? We're taking also a cloth from the NHL area here, where you can customize every single facet of it. And with that, you can, you could set some prices of the concessions, not every single item. You could be like, all right, this concession, it's going to be fairly priced, this, that, and the other. You could also be like, all right, souvenirs. It could be around this price range. Tickets, of course, everyone's going to want to fix ticket prices.
Right. I think I like that because you have different approaches. Obviously, we talk about who is it Atlanta?
Yes, Atlanta has the most affordable anything.
Yeah, which is a brand new stadium, so you can't use the argument that we got to pay for the stadium. No. Atlanta's stadium is one of the newest stadiums in the league, top of the line stadium, and their concessions are the most fan friendly ones in pro sports.
Yes.
Some colleges have started to get on board with that, but you don't need to pay $9 for a bottle of water. I'm sorry.
No. Anytime I go to Bridgestone Arena, it is $6.30 for a bottle of water. Sometimes I get a hot dog. That is as most always go. I'll get a bottle of water, and guess what? I don't know why. I never finish my bottle of water when I'm at a Preds game. There was at one point earlier this year, I had 4 separate bottles of water in my car, just from games.
So I like the idea of you can be aggressive with ticket prices. You can be aggressive with souvenir costs, with game day experience costs like food and stuff like that. Or you can be fan friendly. So there's different approaches you can take. And I like that because your fans, you're not going to make as much money if you're fan friendly on your costs, but you're going to get better fan appreciation, happier fans come to more games. You may make more money if your team's winning and the fans are coming, but they're not going to be necessarily as happy. And they're going to turn on you faster if you're losing, because I'm not paying $6 for a hot dog if you're losing.
Nope, you can pound it. So with franchise mode being talked about, Nick, what are some of the mini games that we're going to have?
To me, I think there are two that we really would want to have. One is the one that I love the most. And I guess since we are still keeping it under the EA umbrella, we could go with NFL Street. I kind of like the Own the City idea, calling it Own the City. Essentially what it is, it's NFL Street. You have all the 32 different cities that the NFL teams are located in. And it's just backyard football versions. You take a couple of the key players off the team from any era of the team. So you could have Walter Payton, Caleb Williams, and Brian Urlacher on the same team if you were representing Chicago. That kind of stuff I think would be very neat to see them play and bring those together. But they're in street clothes playing pickup football. That essentially is what it is. I think that, but it's a tournament mode based on that. So you have 32 teams in this tournament, and you can do online, offline. That's the other thing I think we failed to mention at the beginning of this. Everything we do in this game is cross-platform online available. 1,000%
cross-play.
There's no point in having this amazing franchise mode if you can't play with all your friends online. There's no point in having these amazing mini games like the street tournament, Own the City, if you can't play with all your friends online.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is the other mini game, or game mode, I should say. It's not mini game. Is what this game is named after. It's the NFL Quarterback Club. You're taking any quarterback from any era and you're putting them in a competition to go through the Quarterback Club tryouts, or the competition. And if you haven't seen it, I get on YouTube. I'll try to put some pictures here in the video as we're talking. But essentially, they're obstacle courses that you do as a quarterback that involve agility, involve being able to read, make quick reads, strong arms.
In layman's terms, the old Pro Bowl games for quarterbacks.
Right.
Exactly what they should bring back. They have the skill challenge. You have the skills challenge. Bring back the quarterback stuff.
It's equivalent to, in Major League Baseball, the home run derby and stuff like that. In NBA, it's the slam dunk contest and the 3-point shootout and the skills competition during All-Star Weekend. This is what we're talking about. This is the NFL's version. They do it now instead of the Pro Bowl, really, is kind of how it is. But it's quarterback centered. It used to be a big deal. It was televised. There was trading cards that were centered around it. It was a big deal for your quarterback to be part of the Quarterback Club. And they appeared on that competition. That was a big deal.
Vinny Testaverde had one of the deeper throws until Brett Favre would always, Cordell Stewart did great in this all the time.
Well, then you'd see guys like Boomer Esiason, who's nowhere near as nimble as some of the other guys, but his accuracy was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, it's just stuff like that. To me, I think it's just a very cool extra game mode to have. And it kind of keeps us centered on the title of the game, why we chose the title that we did. Yes, there's great defensive players. There's great skill position players. The NFL markets itself off of quarterbacks. That's what it does. So, but speaking of marking itself off of quarterbacks, we talked about one of theirs being the 83 draft. Obviously, that's where you can start at the earliest you can start. But with that, we have to market ourselves as best we can. So we're an era's game at talking about quarterbacks. So we have multiple covers. That's all the rage in sports now.
We do have multiple covers.
And there's so many great quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. It's hard to narrow it down to just one or two to be on one cover. So we came up with 4 different covers to kind of go across the modern era of the NFL. So we start obviously in the 80s. We chose 3 quarterbacks per cover. Again, we're playing with EA and NFL money, so we can get whoever we want.
It's called QB Club, so
Right.
You're not going to see any non-quarterback.
Right.
And
as much as you want to see, like the Adrian Petersons, the Barry Sanders, the Walter Paytons, the greatest middle linebacker of all time, and Brian Urlacher, stuff like that. yes, we thought about putting bums like Derek Brooks or Zach Thomas on there, but or Lawrence Taylor, but we couldn't. Not sure how the Coke budget would fit. We get Lawrence Taylor.
Hey! Whatever he's paid, he could spend his money however he wants. Okay.
But so we decided quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks per cover, 4 different covers to go across the spectrum.
Yes, 4 separate covers, branching from, we have an 80s cover, 90s, 2000s, and then present day.
Yeah.
So kicking off with the 80s, we have, we're going to have 2 from the Endless Use draft that you're starting off with. You're going to have Marino and Elway. And then the most notable quarterback from the 80s, Joe Montana.
Arguably the GOAT before Tom Brady.
Yes.
Joe Montana. Literally owned the 80s.
Yes. Nick, who do we have for the 90s?
The 90s, this one, a little bit more open to interpretation because there's a lot of different guys that could be on here. But Jim Kelly, 4 straight Super Bowls with the Buffalo Bills. That's never happened before or since. Troy Aikman, the dynasty of the Dallas Cowboys. I know we make fun of Cowboys fans a lot now. Can't take away what the hell they did in the 90s. And then the heir apparent to Joe Montana by the Bay down in San Francisco, Steve Young. 3 fantastic quarterbacks that really kind of capture what the 90s were.
Yes.
Which brings us to the 2000s.
Yes.
Starting to get a little closer to modern day.
Yes, the 2000s is probably going to be the most notable players.
That's
we will have Tom Brady. You can't do quarterback club covers without the greatest quarterback of all time. And then you have Peyton Manning. And then Drew Brees.
So, now we didn't discuss this, but I'm assuming it's New Orleans Saints Drew Brees.
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts Peyton Manning. And New England Patriots Tom Brady.
Well, this is 2000s, yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
We're not doing 2010s.
Okay. I assumed that's what we were doing. But
yeah. And then we will have present day.
Yes.
With Patrick Mahomes. It's with the territory.
You have to have Mahomes, as much as it is what it is, and hard to argue. What he has done with Kansas City, he has to be on the cover.
Exactly.
Which leads us to the other guy, 2-time MVP.
2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. And then
now, the third spot was up for debate
until we remembered who we're missing out on.
But the question is he still going to be active by the time that our game rolls out next year? We don't know. If he is, he's a slam dunk, has to be on the cover.
Yes.
Who's that? Who's
Matthew Stafford.
Yes, old man Stafford out in LA. Again, out of the NFC quarterbacks, you could go Jalen Hurts, but no. So it's Stafford or Iceman. But yes, if Stafford is there, what he's done, if you're representing all of the modern era for right now, what he's done in Detroit and what he's done in LA, you got to have Matt Stafford out there. So
yes,
Stafford and Lamar.
Stafford is definitely like if there's no Stafford, we will obviously have the debate of we can talk about who else can make it. Some might say like, I don't know. Some people like, oh, Baker. Some people be like, oh, Tyler Shuck. If you ask Griffin, he'll say Bryce Young or Cam Ward. If we ask Drake, he will tell us Tim Tebow. And it'll be like, Drake, Tim Tebow hasn't played starting quarterback since like 2015, and he will still tell us Tim Tebow. Drew could argue Dak Prescott.
You know what? That should be a mini game, I think. You draft Tim Tebow, and you have to, through the preseason, have to teach him how to throw a football.
Yeah. It'll give you the option of which retro quarterback will you want to bring back out of just to work with him throughout the summer.
And one of the other things, I think Madden had done this for a brief window, and I think we should have this incorporated in our game too. And it kind of goes back to the franchise mode, and that is when a player retires, they may pop back up in the coaching cycle.
1,000%. So, they will definitely do that.
Yeah, somebody like a Tom Brady, for example, when he retires a year or two later, or they may pop up as a the new owner of the Raiders or whatever. But they don't just go away and disappear. And yes, they'll go in the Hall of Fame. But I like the idea of, especially if there's somebody who that's kind of what they were led to. And there's so many coaches now that were former players. I think it's awesome to see, like Mitch Trubisky, after he's done 5 years from now, he's going to pop up as somebody's assistant coach somewhere.
Yeah. That's one thing I do miss for sure. And I think, we would iron out more of the coaching stuff. You could hire, your assistant coach. You're not going to go down to the strength and conditioner coach like they do in 2K where you have to have a fucking sleep doctor. We're not going to go that far.
I think the 3 coordinators, offense, defense, special teams makes,
Yeah.
And I do like having to have a scouting team. You have to, maybe
Yes.
not. And I do like having to have the health
medical
team. The
Yeah, the medical team. Yes.
But it's not doing individual people. It's just doing.
No. Yeah. But
now, when you're doing the stadium remodels, are we going to have like they used to have, where you could, when you build a new stadium?
Well, of course, that's all it's about now. We don't have Heinz Field anymore. We don't have Paul Brown Stadium anymore. We have some obscure names in the world of stadiums. So guess what? We are gonna have that too. You can have the spoof office sponsorship.
Michael Scarn Paper Company. Yes,
exactly. You could have that. There was a tea company too. It'd be like, such and such as tea company. Yep. We're gonna have all of that, and that's just gonna be the fun of it.
Good, very good.
Yeah.
So what else before we get to the greatest transition of all time? What other stuff do we need to make sure people understand are in this game? We have male, female, being able to create a player and coach. We have the very robust franchise mode, create a stadium.
We're going to make sure everyone has the uniforms that they want.
Fully licensed. May not have the Reebok logo on them, but at least it'll be the uniform.
Yes, they'll look like it. Yes.
And also imagine this. You're going to be able to play through eras where teams didn't even exist yet.
Mm-hmm. Expansion drafts.
Yeah. When you're playing in the 80s and 90s, there's no Jaguars. There's no Panthers. There's no Texans.
No. There's the entire AFC South.
The Titans are still in Houston.
Yeah. And then you will have...
I think that was the other thing that I think... I don't know that we talked about it necessarily for this game, but I think it needs to be in there. At some point, when we say fully customizable, that means the league as well.
Yes.
So if you need to realign,
all that stuff.
Yes. Take off the NFL handcuffs and allow us to have fun with it. This literally sandbox the whole game. Mm-hmm. So yes, you can realign conferences, you can realign divisions, make it make more sense, especially with expansion. You can actually expand. Like you can say, hey, we made it up to 2026, 27. We're going to add 3 more teams. We're going to have an expansion draft. This is how it's going to fit. And, I think allowing people to have more fun with it that way, to me, that's what video games are supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about doing stuff you can't do in real life. That's what video games are for.
Exactly. And that is NFL QB Club 27.
I think it would be an amazing step in the right direction for EA and the NFL. So
yeah, literally. Literally.
But hold on, I can hear it warming up. And how do you not get pumped from Chelsea Dagger? I mean, come on. Arguably the greatest goal horn in all of sports.
Well, DJX on Spotify randomly tried to play that a few nights ago on my way home from work, and I had the strongest urge to not drive my car off the side of the road. But yeah, that's whatever. A filthy, filthy song.
So as we start to wind down this episode, we wanted to do a quick recap of the first half. Major League Baseball's season, All-Star Weekend was just last weekend. Underwhelming, I think, would be...
it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't mean.
Well,
I
like
mean,
even if the Mets had a rock and roll first half, even if they were sitting pretty top of the division, the festivities for All Star Weekend were kind of.
they're trying to they're trying to turn All Star Weekend into like this like big deal, and it's not. They moved the MLB draft to All Star Weekend, and they're wanting players to be there for All Star Weekend. They've had the All
Players
Star.
got a break.
Yeah, yeah. Guess what? The Rob Manfred, that sad man that he is, wants more play. He wants college and high school players that could potentially be drafted there in a green room type of thing. Guess what? This is the amount of players that's been there since they moved it. 0. 2021 or 2022, around that time, was whenever they first did that. Guess what? They haven't. No players have showed up. No players has been there to shake his hand and hold up the jersey of all that, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. You don't see it with any. There's not many NHL players that show up for the NHL draft. If I don't know if there is many.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal. Exactly. Some were playing World Juniors, some were playing in Canada, some were going to be like, you know what? I'm drafted by a team. They have my rights, so I'm still going to go to college.
Right.
I mean, I don't necessarily like the idea of that in hindsight.
Major League
but
Baseball and the
whatever.
NHL especially, their drafts are not, and this is not me being an NFL homer. I think I've established I love NHL. I love Major League Baseball. Their drafts are just not the same type. The NBA and NFL are, you get picked by this team, you're going to go to this team. Even NBA has started to get where you could go back to school. NFL, you could go back if you really wanted, but you're passing up a lot of guaranteed money to go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't happen anywhere near as often as it does in NHL. Like you said, you could draft a guy in the NHL and he never plays for your team ever. And he goes back into the draft a year or two later and gets drafted by somebody else.
Yep.
So
that's the screwed up part about it. But I don't know what they can do to really fix the MLB All-Star Game. Yeah, 2002 they had the infamous draw. That was whenever Bud Selig was still there, and it was in Milwaukee, and Bud Selig used to be owner for the Brewers, and there was a draw after the 11th inning because they just used all their pitchers.
What you could do is take it out of deciding the World Series. All that should have never happened. Go back to it being just an exhibition game. It's there for everybody to have fun. Not quite to the level of the NBA All-Star Game, where it's literally just pickup basketball, and there's no defense whatsoever. And I get it. Nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to blow a knee or tear an Achilles playing defense in the All-Star Game. I get it. But Major League Baseball is a different type of sport completely. I'm not saying I want guys diving for ground balls and stuff like that. But treat it. It's an exhibition game. Let everybody play. Everybody goes out there. The fans are there. It's fun. You get to see your guys. You get to see great pitchers against great hitters. Maybe the hitter gets them. Maybe he doesn't. But when the game ends, if it's tied, the game's over. That's it. Everybody goes home. Nobody has to win the All-Star Game. It's an exhibition game. Go back to that. It's supposed to be the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game were a chance for fans to see the players up close or to gather around the TV.
They used to have an old skill challenge too, like a fielding skills challenge and stuff like that. And like the KBO.
The game itself should just be an excuse for you to sit down in front of your TV with your dad, mom, brother, sister, best friends, whatever it is, and just watch the game. See the best players in the sport all together for one night, and then you go on your day. Everybody gets a couple days rest. You go back to start the second half. It's just a refresh your batteries kind of a deal for fans, for players, for everything. It doesn't have to be this, we got to make it, somebody's got to win. It's got to be super important. No. The reason why the MLB the All-Star Game worked was because it was just an exhibition game between the best players in your sport. That's all it was. Go back to that. But even with that, you had the Home Run Derby. I mean, it was a hell of a finish to the Home Run Derby. I mean, we had to hit 5 straight home runs in order to get the W.
6. And it was Jordan Walker, and he couldn't have done it in any better fashion. Beat Kyle Schwarber in Philadelphia. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But Nick, me and Drake recorded an MLB trade deadline special yesterday.
Okay.
Got a kind of like a preview. I want your insight. The Cubs are in position to where they can make a push.
Yes.
But how much of a push would they make? From what I'm reading, early tea leaves before the season really started, that teams will be tentative to trade prospects and all that stuff, and players with a lot of control due to the idea of a salary cap coming in the offseason.
Right.
Time out while I throw up on that idea. But here we are now. We're seeing teams that are like, hey, you know what? Who gives a shit? You have a chance to win the World Series if this goes right. So, a name that I always keep on seeing tied to the Cubs is Freddie Peralta. The Mets have Freddie Peralta. And literally, I've read so many articles this year saying that every single MLB team that is looking at Freddie Peralta, and they are looking at his filthy, disgusting stats, and they are saying that is a New York Mets fault. Freddie Peralta is one of the worst starting pitchers this year. He has an ERA near 5. I think he's had more games started to where he's let up 5 runs than he has games started letting up less than 5 runs. It's not a good season for Freddie Peralta. He was the big get for the Mets. They traded off Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat, yada yada. You get into that rabbit hole later. But Nick, how much of a push would you make if you're a Cubs manager?
If I'm the Cubs manager, right now you're sitting 6 games behind Milwaukee for the division. But you're sitting top spot in the wild card race, 3.5 games up for the wild card. I think if you're the Cubs, especially the Cubs need starting pitching. They have, I think, at any point this season, they've had at least 5 to 6 at any one time starting pitchers on the injury list. So obviously rotation depth is a huge deal. And I'd like to say, the Cubs have a very deep farm system, but it's not pitching deep.
It's batters. It's hitters.
So they need pitching help. They can't just pull up guys from AAA and AA. It's just not viable. So
it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you're going to have to go out and make some moves. And now, the one thing I don't know sitting here is they know inside that building what the timeline is for some of these guys coming back, how they've looked in their rehab starts, how they've looked in their, I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know what they're seeing every day. So a lot of that is going to depend on how close some of these guys are to coming back. And when they get back, how viable are they? Justin Steele coming back at some point is great. If he's got 2 years worth of rust on him, then it's not going to help us right now.
No, not right now. Yeah.
So a guy like Peralta, maybe he does just need a change of scene. Maybe he does. And with the season he's had, I would think you're going to be able to get him for cheaper than what you would have, than what the Mets paid for him.
Not what I'm hearing. Apparently, the price would still be like, if you have a top 100 prospect, you're still going to have to give up a top 100 prospect for him.
Right. So if it's a top 100 prospect, but it's like number 92.
That's still top 100 in all of baseball. But
if you're the Cubs, then you have like a top 5 and a top 40 and a top 90, and then they're asking for the 90. Okay. That's something we can look at. Now, again, if you're having your pitching staff look at Peralta, look at his tape, look at what he's done, and what are they seeing? Is it mechanics? Is it confidence? What are they seeing in the tape on Peralta?
Yeah, that's also the big thing.
But I think the Cubs are going to be aggressive, more aggressive than they have been, because they paid the money to Counsell to get him from Milwaukee.
They did.
They've paid to have this roster overhauled for the last couple of years. They've built up position player wise, and at the plate, they're formidable when they're on.
Would you? So the Cubs have, from what I've seen so far, they have 2 in the top 64, 61 and 64. One is Josiah Hartshorn, who is a outfielder first baseman, who is your top prospect. He is in high A right now. And then you have Jefferson Rojas, who's a third baseman shortstop, who is in double A right now. Would you be okay with trading both of those guys off?
No. One of those two, preferably Rojas, would be the one.
Okay. All right. So I was also looking at it yesterday and I was talking to Drake. I said I would love to have this player from your farm system. His name is oh my god, they updated it. Oh wow, they have some of the new draftees. Wow, where was this shit yesterday, MLB? Like I deep dove into this. Oh, I think I said Jackson Wiggins. No, he's in AAA. Brooks Cable. That's what I said. Brooks Cable. That's who I want from you. He is in AA right now. He's 23. His ETA is 2027. He is your number 8 top prospect. So if I could get another top prospect from the Chicago Cubs, like the Mets did for David Peterson, so I'll be fine with that. But as you said, you want your Cubs to make a push, an aggressive push, because all that matters is who gets hot at the right time.
Right. Well, I mean, look at Toronto a couple years ago, Texas Rangers a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Diamondbacks whenever they played the Rangers. Yeah. Come on.
Those are teams going into the playoffs that nobody expected to be in the World Series.
Nobody was like, yeah, the fucking...
I mean, despite getting into the playoffs, they were still kind of like the bottom of the teams that got into the playoffs.
Exactly. That's the thing.
But the old adage is just get in. The season resets once you get to the postseason.
Just get in. Nick, so I want your quick outlook. I want your opinion on this. Me and Drake talked about the San Diego Padres and how they are just absolutely stuck in financial hell. And their farm system is so bad, Nick, that I think it is 22 of their top 30 are in A-ball or rookie level.
Mm.
Yeah. We are hearing rumors that Xander Bogaerts they are trying to trade Xander Bogaerts, but he's under contract until he's 40. I think that's another 7 more years on his contract. And they're so desperate to try to trade him off, Nick. There's rumors that they're going to pair Mason Miller up in the deal so they get a somewhat decent return back.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you have 2 more years of Yu Darvish. Don't know if he's going to pitch on the books, because the big rumor was that Darvish was going to retire, and once you retire, you relinquish all this money. And Darvish is like, "Oh, I'm not retiring."
Yeah.
And by the time Darvish is off the books, he's going to be 41. And then you have Manny Machado, I think he's under that 6-year extension they gave Machado was just absolutely stupid. Machado's on the books for a lot of money. You have you're stuck with Tatis Jr. until mid 2030s.
Yeah,
you're stuck with Jake Cronenworth until 2032. It's not a good spot for a team that tries to spend and looks valuable. It's not. The Padres need to do. They've also had a rotating door of managers. I feel like since they've tried to make the push, whenever they sign Machado, they've had, I think, 4 different managers. That's not winning baseball. Right. That's not nothing to win at. And of course, the new owners, the old owner passed away, and the kids sold the team just now.
They're 2 games under 500, 4 games back of the final wild card spot in the National League. So you're trying to say, I mean, are they going to be sellers?
I would sell. I wouldn't try to think Mason Miller is going to be a selling piece.
You have to build up. They have to build up their high farm system, AAA level.
In a few years, these players might be something. Because I'm looking at it, I see a lot of 2029s, a few 2030 something. Their highest ranked player that's in AAA is Jagger Haynes, and he's in AAA. He's their 13th ranked prospect. And then you scroll down some more, your 28th ranked prospect is your other guy in AAA. And then you have a handful, I think it's 6 AA players. That's it. The rest are high A, low A rookie ball. That's not a recipe for success for the team you have now, the money you are spending now. It's not going to get you anywhere. And I could argue this with the New York Mets, because the Mets farm system has underperformed this year a lot. And yeah, we've had a few graduatees, as in AJ Ewing, Carson Bench. Those 2 were anchoring it. And we also traded off Brandon Sproat. He was ranked prospect over the offseason. And Jet Williams, who was a top 5 prospect for us. Jet Williams, Brandon Sproat 2 top 100 prospects you trade off. You trade off that, Carson Benz graduates, AJ Ewing graduates. Those are 2 more top 100 prospects. You lose 4 top 100 prospects on your ranking. Guess what? It's going to drop you. I understand that because going into the season, the Mets were 7th. And now with how underperforming their farm system has been, they're 24th on Baseball America. It's a lot of mid if you look through the ranking for the Mets. And I love the New York Mets, obviously, but sometimes you have to be real about it. And your farm system right now isn't looking too good. So would I go as far as trading Francisco Lindor? No. Everybody else? Juan Soto? No. Francisco Alvarez? No. Brett Beatty? God damn Brett Beatty, go away. Mark Vientos. If we could get...
Though, because we saw what happened last year between the Braves last year and Braves this year. Braves last year were the Mets, the team that was supposed to do very well. Nobody could figure out what happened. They fell on their face all season long. Terrible. Now, they did have a lot of injuries, but they made some tweaks to their roster. They weren't huge fire sales, but they made some tweaks to their roster. This year, suddenly they're one of the best teams in the game. So if you're the Mets, are you banking on, hey, we put together a good roster. Something's going on that we just didn't anticipate. Maybe it bounces back next year a la Atlanta, or do you blow it up?
So apparently, from what I'm reading, Steve Cohen is going to lax his spending, right? Which is, please do. I'm tired of being connoted I'm spending all this money and look at the results.
Right.
It's sports. You could be the Tampa Bay Rays and spend less than $100 million and still win games.
Right.
So with that, I think it's since the middle of May, Bo Bichette has hit over 320, and that's fantastic. They're saying no one's going to trade for him because of that contract. But I'm reading Freddie Peralta is available. That's like being eyed. Brooks Raley, he's one of the best left-handed pitchers. AJ Minter, one of the best left-handed pitchers relieving-wise. Brooks Raley and Minter both are 2 of the top left-handed pitchers on the market. You have Luke Weaver, who I think has only let up 2 runs since May as out of the bullpen. That's phenomenal. And you have Weaver until after next season. So his asking price would be a lot more. You have Mark Vientos. He's under control until I think 2029, 2030-ish. Same with Brett Beatty. I think Brett Beatty is 2029. Francisco Alvarez, you have, I think, 5 more years of control with him, and he's only 24. Alvarez, you have to keep. The catching market is like...
Yeah, believe me.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's
what the Cubs went through for the last few years until they found Amaya and Carson Kelly.
Yeah.
And Ballesteros.
Yeah. Like, it's I want to see a back half of the season of nothing but some of the guys that the Mets have been hoping to play well from the farm system playing. I want to see Nick Mortabito get innings. Just reps. I need to see Carson Benz play the rest of the season unless he gets hurt. I need to see AJ Ewing play. I don't want to see Marcus Semien play another inning of New York Mets baseball. I don't want to see Jorge Polanco anymore. We could trade off Luis Robert Jr. Luis Robert Jr. has a club option, and teams are like, hey, Luis Robert Jr., he has a lot of potential. But, whatever. I don't want to go on a rant too much. I hope that, I don't want to see a fire sale from the Mets to the sense of like Francisco Alvarez is gone, Francisco Lindor is gone. I don't want to see it to that extent, but I do want to see us stock up the farm system a little bit.
Right.
But that's all I got to say.
Oh, wait, are you good with them trading Peralta?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I figured you were. I just wanted to officially.
Yeah. I would be very happy about that. But, Nick, do you have anything to say before we go on to the final segment?
Yeah. It's time.
It is time.
It is time. It's time for that time of the week, every single week, when we get to do everyone's, we call it the award-winning segment. We haven't figured out what award it is, but it's the award-winning segment. And what segment is that?
That is time for Gimme 5.
Self-high five.
That's right. It's Gimme 5. This week's episode, we decided, of course, it's got to be Major League Baseball related, and coming off the heels of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So let's have a little bit of fun with it. Instead of, we could have built an MLB All-Star roster from our favorite teams or from our growing up, but we decided to go the opposite way. What if we put together our 5 worst or most obscure or surprising, however you want to look at it, but 5 guys that had no business being in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game?
Yes.
Now, for people who don't know Major League Baseball, they have one rule when it comes to the All-Star Game.
Now, this is a recent thing.
Right. But other than, well, actually, there's 2 rules. One, there has to be a winner because now the winner decides who gets home field advantage for the World Series, which is the dumbest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But the rule that every kind of grinds everybody's gears when it comes to Major League Baseball All-Star Game is that, and there's an argument for it, and I'll make that argument, but every team needs to be represented in the All-Star Game. So every team must have at least one player represented. That's what led to this list. A lot of people being on this list. Because there were guys taken at positions and the guys who were left off the rosters who had way more business being on the All-Star team than the guys who made it. But now, my argument would be, before we jump into the guys, and I know we've had this argument before, my argument would be, you can't have both of those rules. It's one or the other. If every team is represented, then it's just an exhibition game, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Every team, because you want every fan base to be involved in the game. So that's why I get every team represented. But if you're going to do that, I don't want the backup third baseman from the Guardians, a team who's, or whatever, or the San Francisco Giants, currently 11 games out of the wild card, determining who gets home field advantage for the World Series.
If you want a funny instance of this, Nick, quickly pull up the 2014 American League All-Star team.
But so while I'm doing that, in the American League All-Star team?
Yes, 2014 American League All-Star team. Just look at that team.
If you're going to make it to where the winner decides the World Series, then you pick the best players, period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what team they play for. If they're the best, statistically the best players in the game, that's who play. That's what it's supposed to be. The first half of the season, not your career, not what you've done. The first half of the season, who are the best players in the game? That's who goes to the All-Star.
Mm-hmm. Give me the 26 best.
Yeah, that's so you can't have both. You can't have both those rules. They go against each other. But thankfully, we do have the rule.
Nick? When you looked at it, was that seven Royals in the start lineup?
It's still coming up.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize there was like 7 pages to go through to get to the actual roster. So see, there are
7 Royals in the starting lineup.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was whenever they mattered with fan voting. But come on, whatever. But now let's dive into this. Nick, do you want to kick it off at number 5?
I will, and I will say that because the Cubs were very bad. Now I'll tell you, my 5 are more from I'll say the modern day. I think the oldest guy was back from 2006. But so first guy, and for a long stretch of that, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, the Cubs were bad. Okay, Cubs were just not very good.
Okay.
So I ended up having 2 Cubs in my top 5 of obscure, worst, shouldn't have made the All-Star team. Number 5, I'll kick it off with a Chicago Cub. First baseman, Brian LaHair. He was a backup first baseman in the All-Star game from 2012. He was a minor league baseball journeyman. He only had 29 appearances in Major League Baseball.
29?
He spent his entire career. He was a late season call-up, late first half call-up. He was called up in April, had an amazing April, so he made the backup first baseman for the All-Star game because the Cubs needed a representative. So
makes
he
no
goes.
Sense.
599 career plate appearances, 29 games in the big leagues.
Okay, that is just garbage.
batted .390 in April of 2012, and that's what got him in the All-Star game. Second half of the season, he was sent back down, never made it back to the majors again.
That is something for sure. That's I don't know what to think on that.
So number 5 for you.
Yes, I want to get his stats up really quick because this guy, so I want to have Taijuan Walker on this list. The 2021 New York Mets. He filled in for Jacob deGrom because deGrom got hurt that year. That was his best year. But Taijuan Walker ends up making 29 starts, 30 appearances. He ends up going 7-11 with a 4.47 ERA that year. That's yeah.
Oh.
4.47 ERA. That's an all-star.
So number 4 for me is also another Chicago Cub, the last Cub on my list. But number 4, 31-year-old rookie from Japan, outfielder in 2008, Kosuke Fukudome.
Oh, wow.
Batted .279 with 7 home runs in the first half of the season. And that got him in the All-Star game. .279 with 7 home runs. Did play solid defense, but I don't know that defense in the outfield is what gets you in the All-Star game.
No,
Yeah, especially not when there was notable guys like Matt Holliday at the time were left off the roster in favor of him. So, yeah, Kosuke Fukudome from the Cubs primarily played right field, but still outfield in general. I think he was primarily a right fielder that had him start in center for the All-Star game or play in center for the All-Star game. Yeah.
So number 4 for me, this is more of a well-known player. He's a former MVP. But if you look at his stats this year, super undeserving. I'm going the final All-Star game appearance for Jason Giambi. This is in 2004. He played 80 games that year. He only hit 12 home runs. 12 home runs, 40 ribbies. He batted .208. He had a negative WAR. What, why? Yeah. Why would this? Of course, it's fan voting, but he missed time due to a tumor. But
stuff like this, like guys getting their swan song in the All-Star game, is why it should be an exhibition game.
It wasn't even a swan song for him. He plays until 2014.
Well, I'm saying, but we had the Cal Ripkins, you had the that stuff like
Willie
that.
Mays, you had Lou Gehrig, yeah.
Let it be an exhibition. Let the fans just embrace baseball and let the players just have fun. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. And you named off those were his season stats. That's not his first half stats.
No, that was his season stats.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 3 for me. This is the oldest guy, or going farthest back for me on my list, was 2006 Kansas City Royals starting pitcher Mark Redmond.
Mark Redmond's on my list, so that's both of our number 3. We could talk about this really quick. Mark Redmond,
6-4 with a 5.19 ERA, 32 walks, 32 strikeouts. Where's his stat line going into the All-Star game?
I have his stat line for us this season. You want to hear it?
Sure.
11-10, 5.71 ERA, 29 starts.
That is just.
How many strikeouts did he get? He only had 76 strikeouts.
So he had a better second half strikeout wise than he did first half, but either way.
Do you want to know what his career stats are, Nick?
Go ahead.
219 appearances, 203 starts. 68-85 with a career ERA of 4.85.
I don't have the 2006 American League All-Star roster in front of me.
From what I'm looking, the 2006 All-Stars is one of the worst All-Stars ever.
But I bet he's the only Royal on the team.
Yeah.
But we're talking a guy who's got a 6-4 record with a 5.19 ERA, and whoever voted was like, you know what, he's in.
Him.
This is a guy that represents the best of the best in Major League Baseball right now. So yeah,
All right, I'm
somebody-
gonna name off these. This apparently 2006 has like a garbage group. Since that was both of our number threes. Nick, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is the most recent guy on my list from 2023. And Drake, I'm going to tell you now, go ahead and push mute, turn the podcast off for a second, whatever you got to do. Shortstop Orlando Arcia of the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, God, yes. Orlando Arcia.
First half of the season that year, 2023, so just a couple seasons ago, was batting .294 with 7 home runs and 28 RBIs. That was starting shortstop material for the National League.
Yes, it was.
Come on, man. No.
That was definitely bullshit. That's what you could say. That's just whatever.
But see, games like that or guys like that, and then you look at, and I'm just going to do just because he's my guy, but Dansby Swanson. Okay.
Yeah.
Granted, offensively, his numbers probably aren't much better than Arcia's. Actually, they are better than Arcia's, but what he can do defensively, I would, if you're going to have a shortstop whose offensive numbers aren't great, then he better be a wizard in the field.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not, then what are we doing? So
exactly.
if you have Swanson, Swanson would have made it this year, I could arguably, yeah, he's whatever. He's been a Gold Glove every season he's been in the league, pretty much. He does stuff nobody else can do in the field, and he does some offensive pop when the team needs it. He's not the guy. He's not Aaron Judge, obviously. That's not what he's expected to be. But but you look at these numbers from Arcia at the same position, a shortstop just a few years ago. That's not not good.
No.
Right.
I mean, 294 is good, but
it's not bad. But 7 home runs, 28 RBIs, and not a defensive wizard.
I mean, I hear your reasoning. I'm hearing you. Number 2 for me, I am going to go Dominic Brown. He was an outfielder for the Phillies, and he played 6 years for the Phillies. That's all he played for in his career. No one gave him a flyer here, or flyer here or there. It's kind of like one of the. I will say him because it's like a fluke season. You see this one season stat, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is just super duper weird because he only has 2 seasons with positive WAR. This is like the big outlier year. Because I will say this, Dominic Brown's a player that kills me in MLB The Show 15. Why? I don't know, because 2015 was his last year in the league. Dominic Brown this year had a 3.2 WAR, and in 2015 he had a 0.3 WAR. Other than that, he had nothing but negative WARs his entire career. This year, he batted .272 with 27 homers, 83 ribbies. That's his low and all-star year. But it falls off after that. And that's just more of a reason for me to shit on Philadelphia.
All right.
But
so
lo and behold, number 1 for you.
Yeah, number 1. And the guy who is the whole reason why this idea came up. Researching the All-Star game, and this guy jumped up, and he is one of those guys that we talked about it before, that there's no reason why I'm a fan of his. I just am. And I have I had a custom-made jersey for the sounds of him. We saw his only stint in Nashville as a Nashville Sound on a rehab assignment from Milwaukee. Saw his only home run as a Sound in person. And I just loved the way he carried himself, the way his look, everything. So I followed, but I was shocked to learn that he has been an American League All-Star, an All-Star in general, but he was American League All-Star for the Seattle Mariners back in 2019 as their DH. In the first half, now he was batting .238 with 21 home runs in the first half. So
that's
solid first half. So why he got selected wasn't a big surprise.
No.
But that is Big Daddy V, Daniel Vogelbach.
DH.
Could play first base if you really needed him to. But he is the definition of a career DH. So that's what he is. Now he's
I
the
will-
assistant hitting coach for the Brewers.
Yeah, I will say this. I did see him hit a home run in person for the New York Mets.
He played for the Mets, played for the Cubs, Pirates, Brewers.
Blue
like I said,
Jays was his last stop.
we've seen his only Sounds home run live in
Yeah.
person. So,
Exactly.
But yeah,
So
so
this
the-
goes
the
to my
second-
number one.
but the second half of that season did not go as well as the first half. So,
No, this goes to my number one. This is Derek Turnbow.
Derek Turnbow. Okay.
He was a relief pitcher
hmm
for the Milwaukee Brewers, and this goes back to 2006.
Okay.
This is statistically the worst year of his career.
And he made the All-Star team.
Made the All-Star team. With a negative 2.4 WAR. Record that year, 4-9. ERA that year, 6.87.
Man.
64
appearances.
appearances
Case of the Immortals.
with 24 saves. Yes, the Midsummer Classic, he made that team. He only played 7 years. He played for the Angels for 3 years. And then he played for the Brewers for the Final Four.
You know what?
But this was his worst season of his career.
Even with your iffy knuckleball, I think with you put a solid defensive team behind you, you could go 4-9.
Exactly. But you know what, though? That iffy knuckleball strikes you out still.
And
That is...
the whistle.
Today's show.
There you go.
It's over.
We have reached the end of this week's show. Again, a lot of fun. Actually, for the first time in a while, we covered a wide range of sports. It wasn't just certain sport heavy.
Yeah.
It was a little NFL
Covered
talk,
from-
mainly because of the video game. But, we had NBA, we had the NHL schedule release, we have Major League Baseball first half roundup. Always fun with Gimme 5. And but now, as we talked about in the pre-show stuff, man, we're starting to get a little closer. We got NFL training camps are getting ready to start. College football training camps are getting ready to start.
Yeah,
Major League
we will
Baseball
have...
second half is starting to heat up.
Yeah, we have the trade deadline. We will have a college football special coming out soon
Yep.
with Nick and Drake.
I think we need to look at obviously the NFL preview, but maybe even a fantasy episode as well.
Maybe even a fantasy episode. Wow, that would be definitely something. Because, man, oh man, fantasy football is just a huge kick in the teeth for me. It's rough.
Hey.
It is rough.
I am such a glutton for punishment. I am running a college football, fantasy football.
I'm in it. I'm
I know.
trying to. I'm
This is
trying
gonna
to
be-
think. I've played college football, college fantasy
Fantasy?
football once.
I did too.
They had it for a few years and they got rid of it.
There's
but
nothing like having a solid team and then getting boat raced by, Texas El Paso's quarterback going off for
Yeah.
7 touchdowns and 360 yards.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
just one of those.
So,
I'm trying to think of a clever name for my team. That's what I've been stifled on with this. I will tell you. I'll tell you the name I'm thinking of, related wise, after we record, because whatever.
I'm going ESU Timberwolves. Come on the program. One of the greatest college football movie of all time. One of the greatest football movies of all time. Yeah. Could go Texas State Armadillos from Necessary Roughness. Yeah, there's some good ones there.
Mine's gonna be real life related,
Okay.
but
Just not suitable for PG consumption.
well, we're borderline PG-13 because of you and your Chelsea Dagger, but whatever. But everybody, thank you for listening. We will be back sometime next week. This recording got postponed by a week, but it's all good. Life happens.
Hey, and as always, between now and the next time they see our pretty faces, what is the one thing they need to do?
Watch some sports. Keep an eye on the trade deadline, and as that heats up, you could, if you want to sulk with Diego Pavia being cut, you can sulk with him.
Hey,
The
a small setback.
yeah, just wait until his brain is fully developed.
Hey,
Whatever.
so sign off. Send us on our way.
Let's go, Preds. Looking
Wow,
forward
you know
to
what it
hockey
is.
season.
Fly the W. See you, man.
See you, Ben.
Put it in the box!
So long, everybody.